everybody. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also known as, the author of Anya's Ghost Story, Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Hi, Chris. Thanks for participating on my show. I got my tea going, and I've got a new story for you all. We are in episode 131. It's called The Seamstress in the Upstairs Room. Something tells me that maybe this story is something to do with the 1800s of where the seamstress might be, I don't know, prostitute. Anyway, today after Chris got off work, around 5 p.m. I think, like after dinner, I guess. Well, actually, before dinner, we went to the University of Bellevue. Chris had to do some voting stuff, so he did the voting for the senators. I don't know which one is gonna run as a senator, but they also asked me if I was voting. I'm like, nope, I don't do voting. It's actually true. I hate voting. It's not really my thing. So, anyway, after that, we went for a walk and checked up on our house. They're almost done, so we get the keys on the 18th. We have a walkthrough in 2 days. This Thursday at 1 p.m., like around 1 p.m. So, and then we sign the lease, and then we get the keys on the 18th. And on the 28th, we get everything out of our current place to our new house. So for the next couple weeks, we will be without the couch until June 11th. We get the new couch and the new dresser and the new office chair. So right now, we're probably just gonna use the chairs made out of wood just for a couple weeks. I'll probably just, I don't know, hang out in the bedroom. And when I do my podcasting at 8 o'clock in the evening, I'll come join maybe. Right here, I'll probably just, I don't know, go in the kitchen. Maybe I'll just leave my laptop on the kitchen table, or we'll find out about the Discord, and then I can do my podcasting maybe in the living room, right by I don't know, right by the couch maybe, or something like that. We'll figure something out when we get the desk for me, so I can do my podcast. We'll figure something out. If there is an outlet in the living room, we'll figure something out. So hopefully we'll get something. Anyway, everything's all good. So, just exercising as always. And when we got back from walking, I decided just to relax for a while. Had dinner and do what we want to do. Fed the cat and everything. Now I'm here on my podcast. So let's get started on the story. It's called The Seamstress in the Upstairs Room. We are on Season 5, Episode 131. So I just want to say thank you guys for subscribing to my channel of Ghosting with Anya right here on YouTube. I hope you guys continue subscribing. Um, I hope you guys give me a lot of support on every episode I've done. So this is a real thing, and people make money out of it. And I hope that you guys give me more encouragements for me to get a lot of subscribers and start earning my income. I'm just trying to provide for my family, so that way we keep the roof over our heads and a place to rest and food on the table and everything. Bills were paid that should have get started. But anyway, this is what I do, and I love doing it. So I hope you guys continue supporting my channel. If you guys want to check out my friend's podcast, it is called Ask Fearless. He's usually on his live stream every Tuesday morning for 3 hours. He didn't have one today because he had other stuff going on. So, but next Tuesday he will do his podcast like always, and I'll just take it in a different room and finish reading a novel, maybe play games or something like that. Depends, but anyway, let's get started on the story. So just sit back, relax, get something to drink maybe. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And let God bless you with anything you are wishing for. So anyway, let's get started on the story. It's still scary though, but I hope you are excited and make your blood boil or something like that. Just get all the excitement going. So stay spooky and stay safe, guys, at the same time. So let's get started on the story. The seamstress in the upstairs room, episode 131. Cora had taken the job because she needed the money and because the old Mercer house had seemed more impressive than unsettling when she first saw it. The family living there had hired her to help restore boxes of vintage clothing and linens found sealed away after a long ignored section of the attic was cleared. Mrs. Mercer said her grandmother had been talented seamstress and that many of the garments upstairs had both sentimental and historical value. Cora, who had worked in costume repair and fabric preservation for years, found the project exciting at first. The upstairs room assigned to her had excellent daylight, a long workable and more drawers of buttons, trim and thread than she had seen in one place outside of theater. Wardrobe department, everything smelled faintly of lavender and starch. It might have been perfect if not for the feeling that someone was always standing just beyond the doorway, watching her hands. Something tells me there's something creepy going on in the attic.
Yep.
I feel like there's some kind of spirit, I don't know, watching her as she's, I don't know, fixing some kind of costume or whatever. But it depends. we'll figure something out as we read the story. So let's continue. It can be very scary, but I hope you guys are brave enough to listen to it very carefully. The first odd thing happened on a Monday afternoon when Cora left a partially repaired sleeve pinned neatly on the workable and went downstairs for tea. She was gone less than 10 minutes. When she returned, the sleeve had been turned inside out, the pins removed, and the torn lace section resewn with tiny, precise stitches she had not made at first. She assumed one of the mercers had wandered in, perhaps wanting to help in some misguided way. But Mrs. Mercer swore no one had been upstairs. Her husband was out in town. The grandchildren were at school, and the housekeeper had been in the kitchen the entire time. Cora laughed off her own unease and redid the sleeve because the stitching, though beautiful, used a pattern older than the original garment. Still, she began counting her tools before stepping out of the room. I knew there was something creepy going on, so something tells me there's some kind of spirit messing with the sleeve, like the costume, whatever the costume was made of. But I think there's a ghost messing with her shit. So I hope Laura is by ghost. But you never know, it might be. The tea always helps me feel a lot better. So let's continue. By the end of the week, the interruptions had grown harder to dismiss. Spools of thread she had not chosen would appear beside unfinished work, as if suggested by an unseen hand. Once she returned to find 3 pearl bottle buttons laid in a line beside a dress that had been missing exactly 3 from the back. Another time, an iron she knew she had unplugged was warm again when she touched it, though no one could explain why. Mrs. Mercer seemed embarrassed rather than surprised. When Cora mentioned these things, she admitted that as a child she had been told not to sleep in the upstairs room because her grandmother continued working late even after her death. The family had always spoken of it, half jokingly, as though laughter could keep something domestic from becoming truly supernatural. But Cora noticed Mrs. Mercer never lingered near the threshold. Something tells me there is a dead woman who is stuck in some kind of house and messing with the costumes. I don't know why, but I mean, if I were that person, I would leave these things alone. Like, literally, I would stop messing with all the fucking costumes. I would tell the spirit, stop messing with all the shit. Like, literally. So, I just hope that Cora, I don't know, just investigates it somehow. So, anyway, I hope you guys are doing all right. during this episode with this story. It can be very freaky, but you get used to it. So this is why I love doing stories. One rainy evening with thunder rolling low in the distance, Cora stayed later than usual to finish a wedding dress whose bodice had nearly disintegrated with age. The house was unusually quiet because the Mercers had gone to a recital in town, leaving only Cora and the housekeeper, Mrs. Vale. Downstairs around dusk, Cora heard the slow tread of footsteps in the hallway. She assumed Mrs. Vale had come to tell her coffee was ready, but no one entered the footsteps. Stopped just outside the room. Then came the dry whisper of fabric moving over fabric, the unmistakable sound of someone in a long skirt shifting their weight. Cora looked toward the doorway and saw only the dim hall. Yet on the table in front of her, without any visible touch, the silver thimble slid 3 inches toward her hand. It's kind of creepy, but yeah, I think there's definitely a ghost in the house. I mean,
ghost!
Oh no! Messing with my shit!
Eating my sandwich!
Touching my precious things that I don't like when people touch them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could ruin it. That's why I don't like people touching my shit. Just so you know, people. She stood so quickly, her chair tipped backward. At the same moment, the sewing machine on the far end of the table began turning on its own. Not wildly, not in some dramatic blur, but steadily, rhythmically, as if an experienced foot were pressing the treadle beneath it. The empty needle moved up and down through nothing while the spool above it unwound in a soft, measured hiss. Cora backed into the corner, unable to look away. Then she saw it, not a full figure, but the suggestion of one in the reflection of the dark window glass. A woman stood beside the machine in a high-necked dress with her hair pinned tightly up, her hands moving with patient certainly through a body Cora could not quite see. When the machine stopped, the reflection remained a moment longer, and Cora heard a calm female voice saying, "Wrong thread." Mrs. Vale believed her immediately, which somehow made the whole thing worse. Over strong coffee in the kitchen, the older woman told Cora that Mrs. Mercer's grandmother, Eleanor, had spent most of her life sewing for the town, altering dresses, mending uniforms, and taking pride in work done exactly right. Even illness had not fully stopped her. According to family talk, Eleanor had died upstairs in the sewing room after insisting she only needed to finish one more hem before resting. Since then, garments in the house sometimes shifted, improved, or corrected themselves, especially when carelessly. chose methods considered inferior. Mrs. Vale said it quietly, almost respectfully, if the mistress rather than she's never cruel. Is very freaky. When his name Eleanor, I think Mrs. Mercer's grandmother somehow. I think she was the children's great grandmother who liked sewing. So she used to make a lot of clothing for people, costumes, wedding dresses, anything. But then she ended up dead. So, that kind of reminds me of my own grandmother, my great grandmother. My great grandmother was a weaver, even though she was sick for a long time, but I never had the chance to watch my own great grandmother how to make carpets with her hands. She had gigantic weaving loom and she loved making carpets. It was so beautiful and professional, including handmade. I went to a museum in Azerbaijan and with my mom and my sisters, and it was so beautiful. It just somehow hit me in the face, and it reminded me of my great grandmother. Even though I never met her, but it felt like she was there every time I saw a carpet design just like that. I wish I could have seen her. I wish I could have met her, but it's not going to happen for a long time until it's my time to pass away and join all of my ancestors, my mom's parents and my mom's grandparents. So maybe one day I will meet my great grandmother who passed away before I was even born. So hopefully I will. But in this story, Eleanor was the great sewer. I learned how to do sewing. I learned how to knit, crochet, weaving, and the sewing. I had to watch YouTube videos to learn how to make my own clothes and all the accessories, all the projects and stuff. So every time I do my knitting and crocheting, it reminds me of my ancestors. I would like to honor my great grandmother who passed away. So I never knew her name. So anyway, this is the story almost related to my story, like of my family, like my mom's side of the family. My dad's side, his sisters, my aunts, they know how to sew. They know how to do all this shit. So, but yeah, my aunts, they always do some weaving, do some sewing. It just runs in the family. No wonder why. I was probably a late bloomer, so that's okay. But soon I will return to weaving. Like, I like to use cardboards as the weaving loom. I can do anything. It just takes time, takes patience and confidence. And it takes a lot of time and talents and everything. This is why I'm the late bloomer, and all I gotta do is practice a million times and it'll get better. Just like finger crocheting, it takes a long time to learn. So let's continue. We're almost done, and then we will be doing questions. We have another 25 minutes. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have any opinions, sewing. If you know how to sew, like with the sewing machines, or if you know how to sew by hand. I like to sew by hand because using a sewing machine kind of takes forever. So I decided I'd rather do it. It's easy for me. So let's keep on this. And I just want to say thank you guys for watching this show. And we are in another few minutes, so let's continue on. The next day, Cora returned to the room with more humility than fear. Okay. She brought fresh thread, organized the table carefully, and spoke out loud before beginning. Though she felt ridiculous doing it, she said she meant no disrespect to the garments or the house, only wanted to finish the work properly. For the first, nothing usual. And while selecting thread for the wedding dress, bow ties, her hand hesitated over two nearly identical shades of ivory without thinking. She reached for the first. A cool brushed her wrist, not fully just enough to redirect her fingers to the second spool, and once under the light could see once that it matched better. When the Mercer collection was finally finished, weeks later, Miss Mercer tried to pay Cora extra, staying on through what she delicately called the atmosphere. Upstairs declined the additional money, though not because the work had been easy. She simply felt that somewhere along the line it had stopped being only employment and become a sort of apprenticeship to someone no longer living on her final day. Before leaving the upstairs room for good, she set Eleanor's silver thimble in the center of the table and thanked her aloud for the corrections. Nothing happened for several seconds. Then from the sewing machine came one soft tap of the needle bar moving once on its own. Cora smiled despite herself. There are worse things. She later being judged by a dead professionist who still wants the stitches clean. I was listening to this.
No, I'm sorry.
It's fine. But hello. Okay, this is the freakiest shit I have ever just read. So, but yeah, I think Eleanor was trying to correct Cora about sewing. It is kind of freaky though. So, if you guys know about the sewing, if you guys know how to sew, I think you definitely should leave me a comment down below, because I know how to do it, because I watched videos and I learned a lot, and it takes time. I like to do it by hand because I can't afford and sewing machine. My mom used to have one. She still has it, but back in our former country. It's probably still my home, of course, which I don't want to go back to, but maybe a visit, but I would never move back. So, Eleanor was just trying to help Laura, but she just liked people, I guess. I don't know why, but Laura, she simply decided not to come back. But I think Cora somehow got scared a bit. But Eleanor did not mean to frighten her, but she was just trying to help her get the correct thread or something like that. So, the story is very sad that grandmother named Eleanor had passed on. I don't know what she died of. I'm pretty sure it's to my own story, my childhood, and something to do with my great grandmother. My great grandmother was a weaver, so I get that from her. And before, I'm a bloomer of all the and stuff. Every night, day and night, like in the morning, afternoon, in the evening. But work is work, and I am literally working on it. So anyway, let's get on with the questions. And if you have any questions, let me know what you're thinking of. And if it makes any sense to you all in the story, just follow. It's 8 o'clock. Like, actually, it's clearly almost 9 o'clock. So just let me know what you think. Let's continue on. Let's start with the questions. We have 10 questions, and we're in like a little over 10 minutes. So let's get started, because I got to get ready for tomorrow, and well, maybe running some errands, and then later in the evening I will be coming back here for the podcast we're doing. So I decided to work from home, and I love it. I hope you guys are happy about me doing my podcast at night. My mom says she didn't get it yet. So anyway, okay, let's continue on. Okay. Would you have kept working in the upstairs room after the first incident? Maybe, I don't know. If the spirits would like for me to work in the upstairs sewing room, maybe. If they choose me, I will do that. But if I'm in the upstairs room, I probably will not. It depends. But here's a question, babe. Would you have kept working in the upstairs room after the first incident?
Yes.
He probably would. But we don't have any hauntings right now.
Nope.
So in our even have the hauntings, because nobody lives in our new house yet. Because we're about to live in that house. We're about to move in as soon as we sign the lease and get the keys and get everything moved out of our current apartment and into our new one. And nobody can move in to our house because we're the ones who got it. So I think we would definitely continue working upstairs. All right, let's go with number 2. What do you think Eleanor wanted most? Control or respect or perfection? What do you think?
Perfection.
I agree. I think Eleanor wanted, well, mostly respect and perfection. She just wants recognition and perfection and respect. That's what I think. Let's go to number 3. Is a helpful ghost less frightening than a hostile one? I think it's helpful. I think a spirit who died in the sewing room upstairs is a lot helpful. So if I didn't know what I was getting myself into with all the work and stuff, a spirit can literally help me out, like tell me or show me what did I do wrong or something like that. The spirit can literally help me out. So I think it's less frightening. And a spirit can literally help me with anything. Be very happy. Anyway, let's go to number 4. What was the scariest moment to you? The moving thimble or the sewing machine starting? Well, I think the sewing machine was kind of scary. It moved on its own somehow. It turned on, and a thimble maybe can be less scary by moving towards Cora by itself. And what do you think, babe? What was the scariest moment to you? The moving thimble or the sewing machine starting?
The sewing machine starting.
I agree. I think the sewing machine is a lot scarier than a thimble moving towards Cora. Anyway, if you were Cora, would you ever want to like continue working in the sewing room? But let me know in the comments if this might be related to your experience with your paranormal activity in your own house. Let me know what you think, and I would love to hear it from you if you have any related experience. Okay, let's go to number 5. We've got 5 questions left. We are in 39 minutes left. Do you think certain people can leave their habits behind after death?
Yes.
I think so. Now it's your turn. Let me know what you think about this question. Do you think certain people can leave their habits behind after death? I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, especially ghosts. I think my answer would be yes. If you know what spirits can leave their certain things behind, it's probably, well, the inheritance. I mean, literally. I mean, my stepdad, Alex, he left the house to us, to my mom and I. We literally inherited the house. So Alex built the house, and when he died in that house, or before he died, he told us if anything happens to him, we would literally inherit the house. So, guess what? It happened. He passed away, we inherited the house. But we couldn't handle it anymore. My mom decided to sell it, and we got out of there as soon as possible. But certain people can literally leave their stuff behind into the right person. If they choose the right person, they can trust. And this person can honor this spirit with anything. It would honor this person that they can take good care of any of these things, like the land, the objects, and everything. All the animals, of course, and the house. So this is what it is. Things happen, but they're not gone, but they're always going to be a part of us no matter what. Especially husbands, grandparents. I mean, when they will leave planet Earth, my father-in-law probably will inherit, and he will move there and take good care of the farm in Bedford. So we're not sure yet, but we're not praying for my husband's grandparents to go away, but we love them. We want to have them live forever. We would miss them way too much, literally. I never had a chance with my parents. I was just an infant, or before I was born. So it's hard for me to bond with any grandparents. So I grew up without them, and now I can bond with my husband's grandparents, and I think it's pretty amazing to have someone in your life.
Yes.
Even though they have passed on, they're always going to be here for us. Okay, let's go to number 6. Would you accept from a spirit if it improved your work? Yes, I definitely would. I mean, I can feel my ghosts. I mean, when I do this, they're going to be happy if we're alive. I would tell them about my podcast. They would literally give me thumbs up. They would be very happy about it. And they will tell me how I've done the work with all this stuff. And they would clearly give me a lot of help as well. But yes, I can literally accept help from the spirits. So, my answer is yes. Okay, so let's go to number 7. Why do domestic hauntings often feel more intimate than violent ones? Well, when I feel all the hauntings with domestic ones, which means that I can feel the spirit's presence anywhere. Like, well, with the domestic ones is like they are watching over us, that sort of thing. So this is the reason why I can feel them, is because they want us to know that they're okay. They want to give us a message, like pass it on to our loved ones, even to ourselves. They want us to know that they're here for us. No matter what, they will protect us from the grave. But if they were violent, which means they want us, they would want to kick us out somewhere, or like out of the property if they owned it in life, even in death. So that's what between domestic and violent ghosting, haunting shit goes on. That's all I know. That's all I could think of. Was Eleanor haunting the room, the garments, or the standards she lived by? I think she was living by her standards. She wanted to. The costumes were had the right thread going through the fabric, and she just wanted to help Cora get all the garments finished. She just wanted to help improve all that, the work. That's all I got. So I could agree with living standards. She was just trying to help Cora get that improved. All right, let's go number 9. Do you think Cora did the right thing by speaking to the unseen presence? Yes, she did. Of course. If she hasn't spoken, bad things would have happened, or the hauntings would be continuing, like endlessly or something like that. But if I were Cora, I would do the right thing by speaking to the dead. You know, that sort of thing. Okay, we have one last question, dress up. It's almost 2 minutes. What kind of ghost are you? Or an angry one, or a quietly disappointed one? I think the angry one. I think the angry ghost would probably bother me more than the disappointed one. I would be very angry and find out, why is this spirit bothering me so much and pissing me off? Why is this angry ghost haunting me with shit? I would tell the spirit, stop bothering me, go find peace and live in a peaceful, loving house instead of being haunted by something angry and demonic. Like literally, I would try to help this ghost find peace, like in the afterlife, something quiet, find love, something like that in the afterlife. That's exactly what I would do. Would you?
Yes.
Would you be bothered by any of them?
Oh, not.
True, but I probably would be. Okay, that's all the time we have. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I just want to say thanks, guys, for watching and listening. And you guys were amazing, and I hope you guys are ready for my next episode. It is called The Boy at the Train Platform. It's something to do with Harry Potter, man. This story could be related to Harry Potter. If you guys know what Harry Potter movie would look like, and if you ever watched it, let me know in the comments. So, that's tomorrow's episode. I just want to say have a wonderful night, and thank you for listening, and please click like, share, and subscribe, and and stay safe. Stay spooky, guys, and may God bless you all, and may God protect you. Have a night. Please click like, share, and subscribe. subscribe. So, bye.